So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view, hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull off. Hat on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out, my now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the errands in a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They can't take it to 10.
Coach, thank you. It is a beautiful night here in Southeast Texas, and the roof is open at NRG Stadium in Houston. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. Where's the tag? You 18? In the face. Find the rope.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Looking left sideline, it's complete. 23 yards the pickup there.
Check. Watch me. Come to the floor. Pick me up.
Watson on first down. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and then he's got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? They were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Now a man open down the middle of the field. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
From the 16, Watson. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
19. Check 53 is mine. 24. 31. Let's go.
Here's Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
To throw, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's go, defense.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's going to let one go deep for Parker. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big-time play there for the Texans. 56 yards. So forget about any talk of possible safeties. Here's 1st and 10, clear on the other side of the field. On 1st down, here's Breida. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go.
Watson now to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Here's Breida. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Here we go.
From the gun, here's Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A deep ball for Dotson, and that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
At the 35-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, baby. They turn over. Get that.
Here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
And another negative play there as they stop him again. That'll go as a loss of 5, and they're going to have a third down. On play action, Cousins going deep for Diggs. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up third down. The Texans on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Out of the gun, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Vikings on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and it's now 13-7. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Throwing again, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Again, it's Watson. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
I think someone's going to get in the QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. From the red zone now, Watson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 11 yards there, just like last play. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. To Johnson again. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA and playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he got great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said.
That's caught inside the 20. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. To throw it is Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And his kick is good. And with that, they'll take a 1-point lead here in the 2nd. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. A bootleg. He'll buy some time right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play of the 1st half.
They just had to hold on to the ball.
2nd time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the 1st half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for...
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, T. Get up and down, come down.
At the 34-yard line.
After the interception, here's Watson. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And brought down, but but not before they're inside the 25.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Devontae Parker, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. Now Watson throws right side, and he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll lift to throw. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyrone Crawford, his second sack of the night. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Cousins now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
Check 41. Your track.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up the first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing is Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 25-yard line. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. No gain on the dump off. It's second down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
To throw again on second down. Cousins under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start...
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Hey, 31! Big stop, let's go! Hey, 54! Let's go. Hey, we got Mike. Mike, 53!
Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 47. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up second and 7 at the 45-yard line.
Check 25! Hey, 25!
From the 45 on second down, Watson, and it's a fumble, and the Vikings pick up the football, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter, and the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost not. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
50 alert!
From the gun, here's Watson. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Houston, it's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further.
24! Another time.
Watson now to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That catch good for 8, but still, it's third and goal now. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on third and goal.
Check, Mike, 54. Hey, we got to snap it out.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Flushed out, and a big loss here as he's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes over with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 30. Past the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
There we go.
As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap.
It got his man complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Cousins to throw it. He'll dump this off to Cook. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. This is taken at about the 14. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Watson. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. Watson on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Here we go again. Here we go again. Max 42.
Watson going to throw again. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Texans on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To the air yet again, Watson. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. And up here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. First down, here's the run with Cook. 20! Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Here's Watson. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Watson looks to throw again. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Everson Griffin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 23. Operating from the gun, Watson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. One last throw here for Watson. His throw caught at about the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. I get it. Come on. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, big Snoop Dogg got a Madden lead. Your team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy. Tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy. Tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. Now get it. Come on. Go. Big Snoop Dogg. It's in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter rock. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space it out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got pen. Subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, beat the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all, beat the flow. Are you ready? Set? Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? But can you rock it like rocket fuel? I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, how about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch a skirt, the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? Rep for your brum, where your post, department, your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Hey, look how far we coming. Heartbeat on the streets, you can do it. Ain't real for the weekend, sweet. This sugar, one man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damning out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history, I'm this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, easy to get rich or dead. Try, this ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make it next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Washington Redskins. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Haskins. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Loss of 7. It's 4th down.
Woo, that's what I'm talking about.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at their 49-yard line.
Defense wins championships, baby. Sit. There we go, kill. There we go, going to 53. 26.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Noah Fant, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Broncos 7, Redskins 0.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Again on 2nd and 10 at Haskins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 3rd down, Haskins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
27.
On play action, Prescott. He's got his big tight end, Fant.